looking for some answers because she felt so bad. And I'll link to her interview. It turned out to be mercury poisoning. And it's interesting because I think where this is leading, and I'd love for your experience and for Christina's experience. And, there's a few other people that have been on the podcast that have this similar experience where they kind of learned the hard way about how to advocate for yourself. And it's interesting in the healthcare system. Yeah. And I feel like it really ties in well to you as the sleep lady and you as the gentle approach, because it's like, you could go to 10 different sleep experts and likely get 10 different approaches. And it's important for that person receiving that advice to kind of like feel into themselves intuitively. And again, we're kind of moving into this age of like the feminine energy, and the masculine is like, this is the way to do it and you accept it. Well, the feminine is about feeling into that intuitive process of, does this feel right? So with you, it seems like you had to tap into that feminine energy of like intuitively knowing if this advice, this pat on the back, here's a sleeping pill, was the right way. And how can we and listeners leverage what you went through and it might take a few visits. I'm not going to, say that it's going to be the first person that you go to, but how do we get advice on these very important wellness modalities and techniques that we know really fit with us and that feel good to us?
I mean, it's so funny how I didn't really think of this, but this also connects to even my work with parents with young kids, because I'm always trying to get the parents to be like, what's your gut say? If your baby could talk, what do you think your baby would say? Like feel into what's going on. This isn't just about apply formula. I don't mean baby formula. I mean like, problem solving formula to the baby to help their sleep or whatever is going on. And I do remember the moment where I didn't realize it, but I had swallowed the pill of, I guess this is as good as it's going to get, Kim. That's the metaphor I use, that the last doctor or the one before basically said, I don't know what else to do for you. This is as good as it's going to get. And I wished you all the best. And I took it. I swallowed the pill. And then I felt horrible. And it was somebody else. I felt like, what? So this is how the rest of my life's going to go? Like, it's all going to be like this? I mean, I'm not that old. And it was somebody else in a business group who said something like, you have to take a look at that, Kim, with that you're feeling always so tired, because you're just going to take that with you somewhere else. And I think she thought it was my attitude, about my relationship with my business and my work, as opposed to understanding my physical exhaustion and fatigue. But that was my wake-up call. That was my like, oh, yeah, why did I agree to give up? Right. And make this is the best it's going to be. I think that our intentions are powerful. And I set an intention to find somebody who could help me. And it wasn't the next person, but it was the person after that. It was this funny story. I go into this store, blah, blah, blah. They're closing. They stay open. I end up talking to the owner for an hour and a half. I give her some great resources about something completely different. And she gives me the name of my naturopath, my now current naturopath, because I said, my doctor's closing her practice. I got to find somebody new, and really having a tough time, with my thyroid and hormones and everything else. And she said, oh yeah, she'll be great. She has this thing where she seems to be able to figure out when people have Lyme's disease or Epstein-Barr. And I was like, oh, that's interesting, but that's not my problem. Right? Because I'd always been told that, my problem was my thyroid. And sure enough, I went to her. She took a full history and she was like, I got a theory, Kim. And she's like, but let's go see what your blood work says. And sure enough, that's exactly what I had. And I'm being treated for is, an old Lyme's disease infection that I never got treated for, and Epstein-Barr, and all the things that happen as a result of those things being untreated. I felt like screaming on the rooftop, like every woman out there and man, because now, by the way, my husband's tested and they think he has Lyme's. And before that, everyone's like, I don't know, maybe you're just getting old. That's why you're tired. So it's really, we do have to not just agree to say, okay, this is as good as it gets, when inside we know could be better.
I love that. I mean, I think there's so many nuggets in there around intuition, and then this taking of the pill, whether it's the physical taking of a pill or energetic or metaphoric, to like, just like taking the narrative. You know what I mean?
Yes.
There's something
I think that's what I meant by that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was swallowing that belief. Like,